Hey guys, what's up? I just got done washing my face. So now I'm just gonna do my face. It's growing back. The monobrow's growing back. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. Just chill. It's coming back. I have been on a journey with this body. Story for another time. But my hair was falling out at one point. My monobrow ceased to exist for the last few years. So the fact that it's coming back makes me feel strong. Cheers to the return of the monobrow. I'll keep you updated. I'll keep it updated. Yeah, what's up? How you guys doing? I've tried to start this video like 2 or 3 times, so I'm happy with how this has started already. I'm back at school, week 2. Trying to watch baby boys matches while I'm in class. Very difficult. So I have it on like a really teeny tiny little thing in the top corner, right? And even then I'm missing some crucial things. Like I didn't see that he rolled his ankle. I didn't see that part. I hope his ankle's okay. Mercury! Mercury's in retrograde, guys. I'm not feeling it too badly. I feel like, this is my theory on Mercury in retrograde. The worse the retrograde is, the more off your life path you are. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if the Mercury retrograde's bad, you're off your life path. If the Mercury retrograde's pretty light, okay, cool. Like, you don't got much to self-reflect or slow down and think about. Do you like the new photo? I did a little rearranging on the mantle. On the little altar mantle, whatever. It's my, I'm like 10 years old in this photo. And that's my childhood coach, Sandra, the one that I still work with now. Yo, like, if I have my way, I'm gonna bring Sandra to the world. Because y'all need to know this legendary woman. This woman is a legend. Taurus legend. Taurus legend. You know I love a Taurus legend. I hope your ankle's okay. I got a pocket full of sunshine. I got a love that I know that is all mine. All right, so what have I got to say? So I think the subject that I want to broach with you is like, it's not what I think I want to broach with you guys anymore. What do I want to talk about? The bone broth recipe is coming. I've already shot the episode. Thank you and shout out to my cousin Gofa for helping me shoot it. This bone broth recipe is the end all cure all for everything. I'm sorry, it is just, if you have any kind of like stomach ache, gut problem, like sometimes we get food poisoning and it takes our bodies like a lot longer to recover than it typically would. Oh my god. I don't typically get messages. I don't know where these messages are coming from. But this is the cure-all be-all. I'm telling you, like, take it from a guy who has a sensitive stomach. This bone broth will change your life. It will change your life. I don't know why, I don't know how, but all of that gelatinous collagen goodness, okay? So please, 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 please try it, give it a go. And if you can, like, eat it with all of the bones and stuff, and like the bones get so soft after 24 hours. Like, guys, like I'm very I am man, hear me roar. Like, I love that shit. Like, I love that shit. Like, when baby boy walks out on court and he's like just shaved his face and I can already start to see the hair growing back on his face, I think that's so sexy. I think that's so sexy because it's like, there's no escape in it. Like, there's no escape in his regeneration and his, like, his body's constant pheromonal, hormonal, everything. Like, I love that shit. So this bone broth kind of, it goes in alignment with that, like, animalistic. Like, I know a lot of y'all are vegan. I know a lot of y'all are vegan. But if you've become vegan because you have gut health problems, try this bone broth. Please, 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 guys. Like, I can't hype it up enough. Next week, try making this bone broth. Yes, it's with chicken feet. Just cut the toes off. Once it's already cooked and shit, like, it just looks like chicken skins. Like, I made it for my cousin. The batch that I make is for my cousin. And yeah, she loved it. She loved it. And she's found it very helpful for her. So yeah, I'm just like excited to drop that little episode for you guys. And I'm sorry to have to like do some self-promo, but I'm a little bit of like a self-care king, you know? And like, maybe that's what I want to talk about. I was gonna get all like conspiratorial, but I was like, no. That's not what the world needs right now. The world needs a little bit of healing. I help people heal, you know, like the massage therapy job, like it's a real job. Like, it's Meridian Health Spa. Oh, health spa? Meridian Health Clinic. It's like right at my doorstep. It's awesome. It takes me 30 steps to get there. But like Meridian Acupuncture, like the Chinese meridians in the body, which I'm really into. I've collected so much information in terms of like self-preservation in like the human body, right? I know a lot about the endocrine system. I don't know too much about all of the trendy shit, like microplastics, like, okay, yeah, that stuff's probably bad. But like lifestyle habits that make you feel good, lifestyle habits that keep you young, lifestyle habits to heal the body, lifestyle habits that just get you feeling good. And going back to that whole thing about like being a masseuse or whatever, like most of my clients are women, and this is like anecdotal. I'm not telling you about this to make you jealous. Like, anecdotal, there's a point to the story. I'm not telling you this to make you jealous. I'm not that kind of person. And if I instigate feelings of jealousy, it's never my intention, and I apologize. But essentially what my job is to make people feel good in their bodies, to use my hands to make people feel good in their bodies. And I was an athlete, so I didn't get a whole as many massages as I probably would have liked in my career. But I did have enough to know and to kind of learn, right? But a lady came in yesterday and she was like, you know, it's like, so, I don't know what I can and cannot say. I have never taken a HIPAA oath, so I'm not in the medical field, but I do heal people's bodies. So it's like, I exist in this space where like, in New Zealand, to be a massage therapist, you don't have to be licensed. But I would like to get my license, obviously, especially if I'm getting hours and I'm getting paid for it. I may as well do those hours to contribute to a license. Be that as it may, that's like irrelevant. I don't know how much I can really say. What I can say is that she came in with an injury that I had already had previously, like maybe 6 months ago. Sore knee. She'd gone hiking and her, went to see a physio. They said it's probably just like overly strained. You just need to get like a massage and do some drainage, like lymphatic drainage or whatever. And my boss, Tyrone, love Tyrone. Tyrone's trusting me a little bit more to be intuitive with my clients, which I would say that I am. And he was like, you can massage around the knee and then like kind of go outward. He was kind of explaining what to do. But he was like, but he also said at the end of it, like, you know what to do. Just like follow your intuition, do what you think is best. Which is the first time he said that. So I was like, okay. And she came in and she told me about her injury and all of this. And I was like, honestly, I think what we need to do is we just need to like get you on the table and open up your back and like open up, because yes, your knee is hurting, but it could be your quad. It could be your quad, the front of your quad. It could be your hamstring. It could be your hip. It could actually be your lower back. Like the problem might not be your knee. Actually, it could be the things up and down and surrounding your knee, because our bodies and our spine, it's got to be kind of aligned, right? Our vertebrae sit on top of each other and sometimes they get misaligned, and then that's when you see Tyrone, who does tweener, which is a ancient Chinese sort of back adjustment, not chiropractor, tweener. But that's like, once you understand like physiology, the spine, and how kind of like where people hold tension, right? You kind of then sort of begin to understand. I don't know, it's hard, it's difficult to me to explain. I can feel it in my hands. I can feel it. So I was doing my, like, doing my thing. And sure enough, it was like her lower right back. And then I was like, I bet you it's her hip. I bet you her knee is hurting, but I bet you it's her hip that's tight. So then I start massaging her, she's on her stomach, and I'm like massaging her right hip. And then I'm comparing it to the left, and I'm like, okay, it's a lot tighter. Like a lot tighter. And then I'm like, yeah. I was like, I think your right side's a lot tighter than your left. And she's like, yeah, if you could go a little bit more gentle. I was mortified. I was like, oh yeah, of course. I think I found the tender spot. What? But yeah, I just like massaged her hip, like opened it up. And then I was like, I think I've had this exact same injury because this is the exact same spot. And then I was like, your hamstrings are probably tight too, but it's the hip. And then I started talking to her about her shoes. She's like, what do you think I can do to prevent this from happening? And I was like, I think for me, it was my shoes. Like when my heel sat correctly in my shoe, I stopped having these problems. And I just bought my sister bought me, actually. Thank you to my beautiful darling sister, Eleanor. She bought me like these thin little like silicone insoles to place into my shoe. And that stopped my heel from moving. So I have long feet. I have big feet, but they're not really big. They're long and they're slim. So typically when shoemakers make shoes, they think a person's feet, they're long. It must be like a platypus foot, so it's got to be fat too. Well, my feet are long but quite thin. So getting shoes to fit is quite difficult. Because my heel is always moving. And that's in like all shoes. That's not just any specific brand. I'll go to the best brands and it'll still happen. So I think I just have fickle feet, and you work around it. Like, you get your insoles in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you figure it out. But I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I think your shoe might be your heel might be moving too much in your shoe. So I taught her about the runner laces. Do you know what runner laces are? You take the two, Google it, YouTube it, but that also helps keep your heel in place. How do I describe it? I don't have a shoe. But you want like your heel, you want your heel in place, and like the runners, you want it in place. You want it in there, so that you can then maneuver it. But when your heel is shifting even a little bit, your hip begins to compensate. Your hip begins to move a little bit forward, and then that fucks up your hip. Your hip's tight. And then that puts a strain on your hamstring, mostly, right? Because that's doing the extra effort. And then your knee, your knee's fucked because everything above it is like caving in. And then your butt cheek is supposed to be activated. That's what the heel does. It activates your butt cheek to lift. So your butt cheek is getting weak because your heel keeps moving and your hips taking, it's a fucking mess. It's a fucking mess. And I just felt so bad for her. And I was like, yeah, your shoes, I would look at your shoes first, like try to get that heel in there and really do the runner's lace, look it up, runner's laces. I'll show you when we get off the massage table. I will show you how I do my shoelaces, and I'll show you the insoles that I have in my sneakers. So I finished the massage. She gets off the table. We're like talking. She does. I leave the room to wash my hands, and then they get themselves situated, and then they come out and meet me in the lobby, and we were just having a conversation. And yeah, I did what I said I was going to do. I told her and I showed her, these are these are my silicone insoles. This is my laces. It's funny because when she was on the table, she said, the first thing to go in my shoes is that heel part. That's the first part of the shoe to go. And I said, yeah, because your heel's not locked in. That's exactly what happens to my shoes as well. Your heel should be locked in. It's not supposed to be rubbing like that. There is supposed to be some kind of give, yes, but your heel's supposed to be, oh my God, I can't say, I'm saying it a million times, I'm so repetitive. I worked in marketing, can you tell? So I was giving her that advice, and as I was showing her my heel, my shoe, and then I stand up and I can see tears in her eyes. And I was like, my Venus is an Aquarius, so when people get emotional, I get I get a little bit uncomfortable. And it's not because I'm uncomfortable with emotions, it's because I feel there's such personal things that I almost want to leave people alone so that they can hold that for a minute. When people get overly emotional, I feel like that's a private thing, and I want to leave them alone so that they can have that private moment. This is the good side, because it was a good cry. I could see in her eyes that she was I know when you're a masseuse, when you've done a good job because you can just feel it in your hands. The muscles relaxed, and she looked like a completely different person coming up, going down on the table, and she got off. She looked her face looked completely different. I can't explain it. Drained. Her face looked completely, she was puffy when she got on the table. When she got off the table, her face looked completely depuffed, and I didn't even work on her face. I just worked on the rest of her body. So that's how stagnant I think things were. And yeah, when I saw the tears in her eyes, I was moved because I was like, oh wow, I did that. I helped a person feel comfort in their body and like a sense of relief and release. And because I've been sick for the past 2 or 3 years, that's all I've wanted for myself. It's all I've wanted is to feel relief and release. It's all I've wanted for myself, you know? So if I can give that out to other people, I don't know, I'm following my nose. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just like, oh, this makes me feel good. I want to follow this. I'm going to follow this. Like, I knew that my expertise in understanding, like, my injury and how I overcame it, and my expertise as an athlete, you know, that use all parts of my body, because swimming uses everything, really. Like, I know bodies where tensions are held. I know the chain of command. I know the meridian that in which it travels. Like, yeah. And to have imparted that on her, and the tears in her eyes, I think, were gratitude. Like, she was thankful. She was so thankful because it was making sense to her. And it wasn't like she just went to a place. And I told her, I was like, I'm not a physio. So, like, that's the first thing I said to her. I was like, I'm not a physio. So I can do my best and I can try to make you feel better. But in terms of curing, helping, like, that's Tyrone's job. He's a trained physio, licensed. I'm a massage therapist. My best bet is I can get blood flow going. But let me tell you something. Blood flow, healing is blood flow. So open up those portals and keep them open, and you will, like, this is why when people take a fall, I'm so fucking scared of my parents taking a fall. This is why when people take a fall, they're dead within 5 years, because, like, they can't move. Bro, like, healing happens through blood, movement, lymphatic drainage. Like, it's so important, you guys. It's so important. But that's why, like, that's the theory as to why a lot of people in their old age that fall and hurt themselves, like they break a hip, it's really difficult to come back from that because of the lack of mobility. So stay mobile, stay flexible, stay strong, stay, like, you know what I'm saying? If you've got your health, keep it. Make sure your shoes, socks as well. I should have told her about the socks. She said so many things, and I was really open with her. I was like, this is also the gut meridian. So if you have gut health issues, like, this is, like, it would make sense. In Chinese medicine, this is the gut. And she was, I think because I was vulnerable with her, she was vulnerable back. And I think that was what was really beautiful, is that I could open up and, like, tell her everything that I knew to set her on a healing way, you know? And you bet your ass I told her about the bone broth. I was like, I also have a bone broth that's really helpful for gut health. So it has chicken feet. When you go back home, you should give it a go. Yeah. And then I saw her walk out and she went to Bagel Love, which is our bagel store. And I was like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, I mean, probably not great for your gut health, but I could tell, I was like, she got emotional. She got the help that she needed. She's feeling much better in her body. I know she's going to go straight to Chemist Warehouse and get those insoles. But then she went down to Bagel Love to get a, like, you know, a little bagel and a little coffee. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck yeah, bro. That's the best goddamn morning I could think of. Like, wake up, not just get a good massage, get a great massage, alleviate your pain, get the advice that's actually going to be helpful to fix your pain, and then get a fucking bagel. Have a bit of a cry. Oh my god. I remember in yoga class, one of my instructors was very vulnerable, and she said the first time she did pigeon, which is, you know, the unlocking your hips. It's a yoga pose that unlocks your hips. She cried. She cried the first time she did pigeon because she held so much tension in her hips. And after, I believe it now. After that massage, I was like, I believe it. Yeah. So, most of my massages have been women. I've only had one male. Of all the massages I've done so far, and I've been working a few months now, I've only had one male. Women are begging to be touched, man. I think women are begging to be touched. I think divine feminine energy flourishes under the touch. And I think because women are so hyper masculine, or they're so comfortable in their masculine energy these days, and they've had to be, if they wanted to work in any kind of difficult environment, tough or rough environment, you're going to have to kind of get that. You're going to have to be a bit more yang. You're going to have to be a bit more masculine. And that's okay. But I think you need to be able to snap out of that and be in your softness. I mean, I'm not going to tell a woman how to be, but I can see it in just like my work. I can see it in my work of like, oh, you really just, you need to take, Friday is Venus's day. Friday, Venusian. Friday, Venus. That's the day you do feminine shit. That's the day, if you're a woman, take yourself out on a date if you're single. Go get your hair done. Go get your nails done. Do things that make you feel like a pretty girl. That's Friday. And I want every woman to think about that. I want every woman to consider that mandatory for your mental health and for your emotional well-being, because it is about yin and yang, and there's too much yang. You girls are like, you got too much yang, and yeah. Don't be afraid to be in your divine feminine energy, even if it's at home alone. So that's my advice to women. And get a massage. A massage. Oh my God, how Venusian. You know, come to me to get a massage. Come to me to get a massage. Meridian, Victoria Park. But yeah, I just. I think this is maybe my new path. Is like just sharing what I know. It's not until people start asking, though, that I'm sharing the information. I'm more conversational. I'm not going to, like, sit here and be like, let me tell you about heels and shoes. It's more, like, anecdotal. Like, it comes up in a conversation, and then I feel the need to share it. I'm really on my dad's case about his shoes, I'm really on my dad's case about his feet. I got him a pair of Birkenstocks 10 years ago because I want him to keep those. He has very flat feet, but I explained to him, I was like, in Chinese medicine, all your nerve endings end in your feet. That's why we're ticklish down there and stuff. But like acupressure and all that, it's real, guys. It's real. And that's why, like, yeah, as I've been taught by my master and masseuse, we start with the head and end with the feet. I don't always massage people's feet. I don't always do that. But let's just say I usually don't, because I don't know, it's an intimate thing. It's also a cleanliness thing. If you're gonna go and get a massage, closed foot shoe, clean your feet, put them in some clean socks, put them in some clean shoes, and then come to the massage, and then take them off with your clean feet. No sandals. Okay? No sandals. I have a real problem. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up with this. I have a real problem with sandals and jandals in public. That's a shower shoe. And I think a sandal should be worn with a sock. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say I wear my slides with socks. Something about sandals grosses me out. I'm Asian like that. The Asians, listen, I'm from the Asian Pacific region. We wear shoes to the beach, okay? I'm Tongan. We wear jeans to the beach in some cases. Oh, don't get me started. But yeah, I'm like open. I have a real issue with flip-flops in public. Like, that's a shower shoe. If I saw a person wearing flip-flops in New York, I freaked out. And like, I only freaked out because I used to do it. I remember I went to hang out with my friend Lester for the first time, and I wore flip-flops, and he was mortified. He was like, that's a shower shoe. Like, don't you ever come to the bar in a shower shoe. He never said that to me at the time. He said it to me later. And I was like, you're so right. I was so fucking new to New York. Like, and now I think about it, like, that is disgusting. Like, why was I wearing flip-flops on the fucking subway? That's disgusting. Like, anyway, love you guys. I just got a message from my agent, hopefully with good news. I love you guys. I hope this was good. 30 minutes, entertaining. I'll edit it down. Pray for the monobrow to come back. Just gotta moisturize now and then, you know, sunscreen. I think the last time I did this, I didn't do my sunscreen. Anyway, you don't need to be here for, you know. Bye.